Listen, guys, there's no point in making 50K, 100K, 25K a month if you're working every fucking day. If you're working 12 hours a day, you're having to do everything yourself. There's no point in making all of that money because the whole reason we started this was for freedom. And if we end up just doing everything for the client, then we don't really have time for ourselves. The reason we started off in this space was freedom, at least for me personally. Freedom is the most important thing for me. That's something that money cannot buy. Freedom of time, freedom of space, freedom of fucking whatever, freedom of lifestyle, freedom of location. That's the reason I started my business. And I know some of you are on this boat, right? There's no point having a bunch of clients and making a lot of money if you have no time and you have no freedom. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I'm making 50K plus and exactly how I'm working less than I ever worked before and exactly what I delegate and how I delegate. All right. So if this video is going to be valuable, actually, I know this video is going to be valuable for you if you're anywhere between 20 to 25 to 50K plus. You're good at closing, you get appointments, you get leads, but the only thing that's holding you back from scaling is your back-end delivery. So if that sounds like you, this video is going to be a ton of fucking value. So let's get straight into it. Look, if you're booking appointments and closing deals, but you're doing all the delivery yourself, this is probably what you look like. If you're not booking appointments and closing deals, but you're delegating all your delivery, this is still probably what you look like. But if you're booking appointments and closing deals and you're delegating delivery, this is probably what you look like. Now, what you need to understand is in order to get your business to a certain point and scale above 20, 40, 50 plus 100 even, you need to be able to have money coming in through the front end. So you're booking appointments, you're closing deals, and your time is not being wasted on delivery because you're delegating all of your delivery. Now, if you want to know, if you want to figure out the exact mindset trick and hack that I kind of used to help me finally fucking delegate delivery, just watch my trust issues video because that shit was holding me the fuck back. But if we take a look at what most businesses kind of look like, agencies at least, they have a front end and they have a back end, right? The front end is where you make your money, right? And this is how you get your fucking Bugatti, right? This is how you get your Bugatti from the fucking 6'3" bald kickboxer motherfucker, right? And this is genuinely where you make all your money from, right? This is the lead generation, the appointment setting, and the closing that's happening within your business, right? Whether you're delegating each of these, I don't know, I don't care. But what you need to do is be able to delegate everything, right? Let me get into that. Now, what is the back end? The back end is your service delivery. This is the machine that's helping your clients get the Bugatti. That's helping your clients get the money, because without the machine that's delivering for your clients, no one's going to pay you fucking money because your name in the market is not going to be worth anything. If you're not being able to generate consistent results using a consistent system, then you're not going to last long in the game because people are just going to talk shit about you and your Trustpilot reviews are going to be horrible, right? So service delivery can be anything. It can be funnels, it could be the ads, it could be the check-in calls, it could be editing emails, et cetera, daily communications, whatever it may be. And this is your backend, right? Now, what you need to understand is when you look at yourself, right? This is you. This is you, right? Let's say this is you. That's not you yet, right? This is you right now. You might either be stuck somewhere in front end. You're doing the closing yourself. You might be doing the appointment setting yourself. If you're still doing lead generation yourself, this video is not for you, bro. Just get the fuck out of here, right? There's systems and literally AI you can use to generate leads for you, right? So don't even bother with that, right? Unless you're running ads, and that's a whole different story, right? Now in the back end, most people are trapped here. So most people I know do the closing themselves and they're trapped in back end delivery, right? Whether they might be making the funnels themselves, whether they might be running the ads themselves for their clients, they might be doing the check-in calls themselves, they might be doing daily communications themselves, they might be doing the emails themselves, the editing themselves, et cetera, the research, offer refinement, whatever it may be, onboarding calls, they might be doing it themselves. And this is who you are at that point. You're a bitch with a machine, bro. That's what you are. That's who you are right now. No, I was kidding. But, oh man, I don't know if I'm going to put this in the video, but look, you cannot be stuck anywhere here. You need to be up here. You need to be commanding your entire business. You need to be commanding the front end and the back end. That's what being an emperor, a director, a CEO is, right? So and eventually you replace yourself so then you can sell off the business too, right? You cannot sell a business that cannot work without you, right? Now, if you're doing the closing yourself, founder-led closing is really good because people get to speak to you one-on-one. And if you're doing high-ticket closing, you're doing 6K, 10K deals, then yeah, it's really good to have closing, right? And you can also get closers, right? You can get really good fucking closers and name them as your partners, right? And then you can say, oh, I'm booking a time to speak with my partner, but the partner's just a fucking closer, right? You can do that as well. Appointment setting, you don't want to be doing this yourself, right? You want appointment setting to be done by someone else so you can focus on higher leverage tasks, right? Lead generation, don't even fucking do that, bro. Instant Data Script or Google Maps, whatever, Apollo IO, Appify, just use whatever you can for lead generation. Or you can even just run simple instant form ads on fucking Facebook to get leads that you can get your setter to call up and set you meetings for your closing, right? You need to be out of here ASAP, right? You need to be out of your front end, right? Now your back end, bro. If you're out here editing people's videos, what are you doing with your life, bro? Go get an editor. Go get Online Jobs PH. Go get an editor, right? Funnels, you're not spending your time making funnels. You're not spending your time with automations. You're not spending your time with funnels. You're not spending your time with any of that, bro, right? Ads, get a media buyer. Having a media buyer is so important because you can get the media buyer to do weekly reports. And with those weekly reports, you can just send it straight to your clients. And your clients will be like, whoa, this guy's doing so much fucking work for me. But it's just your media buyer doing the whole thing. And in fact, what happens is the highest form of delegation is when you start delegating your thinking. What I like to do with my team is when they send me a report, I like to ask them, what do you think? They tell me, oh, here's what I think. I ask them, what do you think we should do next? They tell me what they think we should do next. And I tell them, do that. They do that. Next week, I tell them to give me another report, right? And now they're going to report on themselves on what they did the week before. And now they're going to be accountable to themselves, right? And that's how you build a machine that kind of runs on its own, okay? Now, check-in calls, I like to do most of my check-in calls myself because I work with high ticket retainer clients, so like 6K, 10K retainers per month. So because of that, I like to handle the check-in calls myself. And this is where you build relationships, bro. A lot of people will say hire a CSM, but the thing is, I like to build relationships. I run a business. I run my business in a bit of a different way. I'm not here for the money. Of course, money's great, but it's all about building relationships and building the connections with the clients, so then we can move on to bigger projects together. Like I'm scaling one of my clients to 5 mil, right? I'm scaling one of their coaching programs to 5 mil. They do tours, they have retreats, they have multiple businesses. Their business is worth over $20 million. So the only reason I got that opportunity was because I was building relationships in these check-in calls, right? And the thing about these check-in calls is you don't even have to hop on there and just talk business the whole time, right? Excuse me. A lot of the times I hop on these check-in calls and I ask them, how's your kid doing? I have a client, his birthday's on Saturday, right? I put it into my calendar. On Saturday, I'm going to message him, happy birthday. We're building relationships out here, right? And let's say we have a really big client, right? And when we hop on a call, we're not just talking about business. We're talking about their life, what they did over the weekend. I know what my favorite clients' drinks are, man. I know what they like to do. One of my clients likes to go to the opera. So once in a while here and there, I ask him, have you been to the theater lately? So there's this is where you get a chance to build relationships with your clients. So if you have a lower ticket offer and like a middle ticket offer or a high ticket offers, I would recommend doing the check-in calls yourself if they're like a 10K, 20K per month retainer. But if they're like a 3K for 2 months or 3K for 3 months, you can easily just get a CSM and delegate that shit as well. But you need to get a good CSM. Editing, you cannot be doing that yourself. Emails, bro, just get a copywriter, right? Daily communications, you can even just get a CSM inside the WhatsApp group or Slack channel, and they could do all the communications for you. There's a lot more service delivery. Automations, you can get an automations expert, right? But the thing is, look, you don't want to get too many people doing too many different things. If you're first starting off and you don't have any team, you need to first hire generalized people, then hire specialists, right? So hire a VA who can do funnels and automations maybe, right? Then after you have too many clients, then you take that generalized person and make them a team leader, right? And then put an automations or a funnels person underneath them. So now you don't even have to talk to that fucking team. You just tell them what to do and they tell these two fuckers what to do, right? So that's kind of how you build out your business, because at the end of the day, you need to be up here. Not here, not here, not here, not here, not here, not here. Especially not here, and especially not here. You need to be in there, right? So let me take you here. You need to be this guy. You need to be chilling, right? You need to just be chilling with your life and doing your shit. Because when you're chill, you can tap into higher levels of consciousness. Now, what the fuck do I mean by that, right? When you have less stress, when you have less delivery admin tasks to do, because if you wake up in the morning and 8 hours of your day is just gone on delivering for one fucking client, then you cannot think properly. You cannot think straight. You cannot think long term. You're only thinking about the next hour. You're only thinking about the next day, right? You need to be able to think, sit in a position and think, what is my 5-year fucking strategy? What is my 1-year strategy? Okay. And this way you can deal with higher impact projects, less volume, higher impact. Would you rather work with one client making 30K in 3 months, or work with 10 clients across the span of 3 months making 30K? 3K for 3 months, whatever the fuck, right? So you got to ask yourself that. And the only way you can put yourself in that position is if you leverage your time, right? If you leverage yourself, right? Because If you have time to take courses, to keep learning, to constantly keep growing, to constantly keep upgrading yourself, then your value as a service provider goes up, right? And when your value as a service provider goes up because of what you know, because of your skills and your experience, you get paid more, right? Because you're able to solve bigger problems. You get paid proportional to the size of the problem that you solve, right? Now, look, you need to focus on high level strategies, right? Now this is you. Now let's say this is you. This is you here now. Now you've reached your nirvana, G. If you reached nirvana, you've done it, you've made it life, you got your bad bitch, you got your Bugatti, whatever it may be, right? Now you need to focus on high level strategies, right? What are high level strategies? High level strategy is not a, oh, fucking ad funnel caller, blah, 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 blah. No, high level strategies, we're talking about always staying on top of the market. How do we stay on top of the market? Paying for a network if you don't already have a network. If you find someone, you find a mentor, you find someone who's at the top of his game, you pay him fucking money to speak with him at least 2 or 3 times a month. So he keeps you on the top of the market. So you know exactly what's new in the market and you can focus on these higher level strategies, right? You're no longer thinking about how can I sell an offer. You're now thinking about how can I grow this $5 million client's personal brand in the next 3 years, in the next 2 years. You only have time to think like that when you're not thinking about, oh, fuck, I gotta edit this client's video. You know what I mean? So think about higher level strategies, right? More time equals more time for relationship building, more time for expansion, more time for your own hobbies, more time for your fucking mental health, G. More time for training your team, more time for high level execution, and more time for high impact projects. If you don't at least spend an hour a week speaking to high level clients, then what are you going to do? Like, a lot of my clients are investing in the $5-10 million range. And when we're on check-in calls, they're just telling me about the last property they invested in. They're telling me how to maneuver my money through taxes. Are your clients doing that for you? No, because you're not fucking building relationships, right? How are you? Expansion. You need to constantly be expanding. You need to constantly be adding new systems into your backend. You need to constantly keep learning new stuff. How do you have time to do that? You cannot delegate that level of thinking. That level of thinking is something only a founder can do. Because the founder loves his business more than any other employee in the business loves the business, right? And the founder is the only one who's there who can actually do business development, BDR, right? Who can only actually develop the business, who can only actually expand the business into new realms and new fucking verticals and horizontals, right? So you need to have time for that, for thinking, right? You need to have time for hobbies, brother. You need to have time for hobbies because your hobbies are what makes you, you. It what keeps your creative juices flowing, right? We have 2 sides of the fucking brain. Don't only use one, use the other, right? You have more time for fucking mental health, bro. Get some sleep. Go on a date. Fuck, bro. Do something, right? Don't just sit on your fucking desk delivering shit for your clients, right? Like, you have a life too. We started a business for freedom. Now you lost it. Doing what? Editing ads? Running ads? Doing fucking reports? Bro, get the fuck out. Training your team is so important, bro. It's so important. Whenever I have something in front of me and I know that I can do it in like 10 minutes, what I do instead is I hop on a call with someone who I can train. It'll take me 2 days to train them instead of taking me 10 minutes to fucking do it. It'll take me 2 days to fucking train them. Those 2 days are the most useful days of my fucking life because now that I've trained them, anytime that same task comes, that team member knows exactly what to do and how to do it. That's fucking leverage, bro. Don't think short term. Don't think about the time you'll save now. Think about the time you'll save in fucking 10 years, right? Crazy. High level execution. This is super important, right? What is high level execution? Now, high level execution is someone telling me, hey, I want to sell out a retreat. Now I have to sit back and fucking think, how am I going to sell out this fucking retreat? Okay, cool. There's multiple facets that we can use. So I have to build out the entire thing, hire the right people, set up the project management tools. So that's something only I can do. Train the team in the right way and get the team to connect in a different way. It's like, that's high level execution, right? High impact projects is, so one of my clients wants to grow their business to around 10 mil and then sell it off in a 3 to 4x multiplier, and they're giving me equity on that, right? So that's a high impact project, right? And it actually does something for the world because they're actually coaches. They're coaches that help people and they're coaches that genuinely care about the people that they work with. Those are high impact, right? High impact projects are good for the soul because they remind you that what you're doing actually makes a change in this fucking world and you're not just doing it for cash. If you like to just do it for cash, bro, you're not my ICP, get the fuck off my video, bro. But if you're actually here trying to do something of substance, like you picked the service space not only to make money, but also to improve yourself, to actually become the best version of yourself, then you're probably my ICP, right? And when you have more time, you make more money, bro. because you have more time to think, right? You're not out here using ChatGPT for every little thing, bro, because then you're fucking dumb at that point, right? Now how do we get more time? How do we manage everything better? How do we actually delegate properly? How do we actually, hire the right, whatever the fuck, right? Number one is project management tools, and I personally use ClickUp. So let me show you what my ClickUp template kind of looks like, right? So I guess I have to make this a little bit smaller here. So this is what my ClickUp pretty much looks like, right? When a new client gets signed up, they immediately get hit with this template, right? They immediately get hit with this template. So we know exactly what we need to do. Phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4, and the onboarding call. Onboarding call, we know exactly what needs to be done. Funnel, what needs to be done. See, the funnel designer will automatically be assigned to this. This is all client-side stuff. So this is what the clients have to do. VSL presentation, again, client-side. Everything here is already noted down to see what needs to be done and who needs to do it, right? None of this is done by me. It's all my fucking team, right? I can just assign people from my team. I don't have anyone here because this is just a fucking template, as you can see. But this template, as soon as a new client comes on board, this template just gets made for them. A drive automatic, because I use Zapier, a drive automatically gets made for them, and all of my team immediately get notified to start working, right? And you can even have a fucking task dashboard, which tells you the next steps, what next steps need to be done, what stuff needs approval, and what's currently in progress. So everything is just kept here, right? So my team knows exactly what they need to do next and who needs to do what, right? So if there's something that the funnel designer needs to do, and then the media buyer can run an ad, the media buyer knows that the funnel designer is currently getting something done, and as soon as it's done, the media buyer knows that they need to start doing that next. So they can just pop the status from not started to next step, in progress, drafted, and approved, right? All I do is approval at this point, and I'm probably gonna get someone to do the approvals for me, right? So this is how I kind of set everything up, right? And there's a certain way that I set up my Google Drives as well. I might even show you that one up. So as you can see, this is my new CRM updated template, and dude, it took me 4 days to make this entire system out, right? And link it with Zap and link it with ClickUp. I only had that time because I wasn't fucking editing videos for my clients, right? So phase 0 logistics, boom. They know exactly what they need to do in here. Phase 1 foundations and offer, boom. They know exactly what they need to do. 1A, 1B, 1C. Once that's done, then it's that, boom. And the phase 2 infrastructure and systems, they know what they need to do where, right? If you go into funnel build out, there's the copy, pre-qualification questions, post-lead form emails, and everything, right? So everyone in my teams knows exactly where everything is, right? Everyone in my, so let's say phase 2, right? We go back to ClickUp, phase 2, boom. Phase 2 is going to be in phase 2. Phase 3, everything here is going to be linked to phase 3, and phase 4, everything in phase 4 is going to be inside phase 4. My entire team knows exactly what needs to be done next, where to find it, what they need to do, and who they need to wait for, right? While I'm asleep. And the only way I was able to build this entire fucking system out in the first place was because I had time. That's why time is that fucking crucial, bro. The time is just the most crucial shit in this entire world, right? Now, look, I have more stuff that I can show you because I keep everything here, but that's classified because it's my live clients stuff. But, let me show you some other stuff here as well, right? I have a backend meeting notes. So I have calls with my backend team every week, right? I have calls with my ad team, my weekly backend team right here. Literally, I give them their steps, what they need to do, topics, transcripts. I hop on calls with 2-3 people, weekly back-end calls, just everything is just in here. I recently started using this software and it's fucking amazing. I give them the summary of the entire calls, what they need to do next, and everything is just done. Everything is like done for me, right? Because I hop on a call with my back-end team and they do everything that they need to do and they know exactly what it is that they actually need to do. So project management tools, I use ClickUp. You need to manage your projects well, right? You need to know exactly what the next step is, what's currently being done, and what needs to be approved and what needs to get done ASAP, right? That's how we can deliver insane results for our clients in less than 2 months. Within like 2 weeks, we're already up and fucking running because everyone knows what to do. Like bang, 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 while I'm asleep. I don't have to tell them to do shit. They already know what to do because of the automations in the system, right? Next, hiring the right fucking people. You need to hire your fucking incredible team, right? So this is me. This is me, Mr. Incredible, bro. This is my fucking me, bro, right? I need to have my team, bro. You need to hire the right people. Always have a small, lean team of specialists, right? You need to hire a lot of people. You got to hire the right people. How do you hire the right people? Probationary periods. Every time I hire someone, I always give them a 2 to 3 week probationary period. I don't pay them shit, and I just say, prove yourself to me, right? And if they say, no, I need to get paid, they're not the right fit anyways, right? So hire the right fucking people to do the job. And sometimes you think someone's the right person and they fuck you up, or they fuck you up or whatever. That's why, look, I only pay my team after the work that they've done. I never pay them in advance, right? So either way, if they choose to stop working after the pay, that's on them. It doesn't go on me, right? And a lot of the time that they've done good work and they say they're going to leave, I still give them a remuneration pay or like something like that, where I give them a bit more pay and I'm like, hey, you can take this money and it's going to help you out to find a new job, right? Because I love the people that I work with, right? So first step is hiring the right people. Once you hire the right people, then you got to train your fucking team, bro. Weekly calls, right? And sometimes if I have a new member on the team, I call them daily for like 1 week until they're fully fucking trained. Every single call I have with them, I record it and then I send it to them and then I tell them to review the call and then write down notes on that call. And the next call we hop on, we review their notes and I make them tweak their notes, right? And then when I teach them to do something live on call, I tell them to watch the recording of the call and then I tell them to create SOPs based on that call recording. And they create the SOPs. Then on the next call, I tell them to use those SOPs to redo what I told them on the call before. And I tweak them and I help them do it properly on that call live while they're doing it. That way, I don't have a team of robots. I have a team of actual thinking human beings that can think for themselves, right? That's why you need to firstly hire the right fucking people, right? It takes a while to hire the right people, but once you find the right people, we want to reward them well, right? Next is weekly check-ins with your back-end team, G. You just gotta have weekly check-ins with your back-end team. This is me, bro. This is me. I'm just chilling, doing my back-end team shit. What the fuck does this guy do? Bro, you have to understand there's multiple types of leadership styles, but two sides of the coin is autocratic and laissez-faire, right? Autocratic leadership is micromanagement. This is for low-skilled teams, right? On the right is hyper-qualified laissez-faire. So Elon Musk would be a laissez-faire type of leadership style because the people on his team are highly qualified, that therefore all he needs to do is just let them do their shit, right? So as agency owners at the start, we're usually somewhere in the middle, right? We need to let them do their own shit and think for themselves, but also slightly manage them once a week. You know, ask them questions if needed. You know, tell them to ask you questions if needed, right? Hop on calls with them because you need, instead of doing the editing work, you should teach someone how to do the editing work on a call. It'll take more time, but once they learn how to do the editing the way you like it, though you like it is what's important. Once you've communicated your vision properly to that specific person, then that becomes a system because you no longer have direct input in it, but it's still getting done in the background. So look, at the end of the day, this is how you go from this to this. This is how you go from depressed Froggy to happy Froggy, right? This is how you go from working on the machine to being in the Bugatti, right? This is simply how you do it. And you need to do this ASAP because delegation is the highest form of fucking leverage. If you cannot delegate, then number one, you might not have the right people on the team, right? If you cannot hire the right people, then you probably haven't gotten enough experience in hiring people, right? So I've hired many people who I thought would be great for the team and they've just fucked me over, right? It's happened many times, but that's how you learn. Right? And your interview processes have to be skin tight, like airtight. Why did I say skin tight? Airtight, right? You need to ask the right questions. You need to give them the right resources to complete specific tasks and give them specific standards. If that standard is not met, then you just tell them, hey, I'm sorry, you didn't meet the fucking standards, so fuck off, right? So anyways, I hope this video was of help. I yapped along a lot. If you have any questions, let me know on Instagram. If you want access to my ClickUp template, I don't know if I'll give you my ClickUp template, bro. That took a while to make. You know what? Fuck it. If you want access to my ClickUp template or my Drive template, DM me on IG and I'll give it to you. For the first 3 people. All right, fuck it. For the first 3 people. Anyways, peace.